Are you curious if your stress level is stopping your gut from working appropriately? Maybe even stopping you from losing weight or even stopping you from producing the result that you want with your health? You could be dead on. In this video, I'm going to discuss ways for you to slow the stress response so your body can act in congruence with how you want it to work. My name is Leslie Urbis. I'm a registered dietitian and a personal trainer, and I'm here live today with a client of mine, Sarah. Sarah, I hear you have a question about gut and stress. Tell me, what is your question today?
Hello. So as a professional woman with children and a spouse and a house and pets and all of the things, there is a certain stress level that exists pretty consistently. And as it gets higher or lower, I notice a lot more struggle with my gut and with my nutrition and with specifically a lot of that belly fat and trying to keep my body in a balanced area for it, something that feels good and comfortable. So I'm wondering about the effects of stress and how to mitigate those effects of stress as your body and your stress level changes.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so let's break that down first. So the first piece is the stress level. So again, I always start with the perception change of I'm in a stressful situation to I am going to create Zen, space, peace, flow. And however that works. It reminds me of a Modern Family episode. I literally just rewatched with my husband where Cam and Mitchell are staying with their parents over at the house. And Gloria takes the little girl out and shops, and Cam is in the kitchen. And when Gloria comes home, she opens up the drawer and goes, "Where's my tea?" And he was like, "Well, I rearranged your kitchen to have more flow." And he opens up the thing, mug, tea, pot, right? And it was like boom, boom, boom. And then they start cooking together, and she's like, "Where's my cheese grater?" He's like, "Where would you want it to be?" Right? So to me, this is part of it. So like you're creating your most capable flow. Okay, so what I start people with is, okay, if I want to have less stress, okay, I can't come from I'm stressed, I want less stress, because me telling myself I'm stressed and I want less stress, I'm going to stay stressed. What I want to come from is I want Zen, peace, flow, space, and I want it to work for me. So when creating your best life, when it comes to food, I start with the kitchen. So I really want you to think, and this is helpful for you because you're just moving into a new space. In your kitchen, how do you want the flow to be? When I set up our kitchen in Spain, which is not the greatest because I couldn't do too much of the flow, that's exactly how I set it up with. Like, I want all of the things I'm going to need at the stove at the stove. I want all the things I'm going to need at the oven at the oven. And at first, my husband thought I was crazy. And I was like, I don't know why you would think this. This is kind of how our last house was organized too. And little by little, he was like, "You're right. There's just this perfect flow. So you're not stressed. It's this thing goes here." And it seems to work well because even when we have people come in to clean our house, they do the same. So I want you to come from the aspect of what creates a peaceful environment for me, what creates a peaceful environment for my children, what creates a peaceful environment for my husband in this space, in knowing that you know more in digestion codes and their personal ones. Like, okay, if I know I need this kind of environment, but they need this kind of environment, how do I set that up so that way everybody's in their best environment while we're sitting down to have this meal? Because we know one of the biggest things we have to do to reduce stress and allow our body to flow is reduce stress while eating. Okay. Does that make sense first? So the first piece is setting up this space, even your house, even like having a space in your house. Like I have this office, which is really mine. I mean, we have things in it like to go to the beach and stuff, but no one in this house spends as many hours in here as me. It's really my space. My kids kind of pop in, my husband every once in a while. But if you were to come to this space is my space. And you can tell that when entering. Okay. So is there a way for you to create that for yourself in your new home as well? to have that place that you can know I'm going to come here and there's really no other reason for anybody to. When I lived at my old house, I actually made it our closet. We got our closets redone and our closet was glorious. And I had a space in our closet and I would go there. I read a book many years later that she did the same too. But how do both of those things sound? Sound possible? Any questions on those first piece?
I'll have to get creative. The new space is, or the new house is definitely smaller, and more, it's just like, it's not my preferred layout. We'll go with that. So we're gonna have to do some creative thinking to figure that out, especially with it being very open concept. It's not like I can just go shut the door.
Yeah.
So, but I will work on developing that as I start to put things away and as stuff starts to show up. Where do I always flow my kitchen. The kitchen has to flow if I'm gonna cook, otherwise somebody's gonna get stabbed with a knife. But as far as finding a new me space, I might have to get creative.
Okay. Yeah. And you can, I'm sure here on YouTube, you can probably find like 12 different videos of how to create a small space into Zen. I'm sure of it for sure, because everything's here. So that's the first piece. The second piece that you kind of went into was about like belly bloating and belly fat and keeping that. That's where I really go into a couple of tools. I could probably list 10 or 12 tools that I teach in my long programs, but I'm going to start with the top two. And the first one is the belly breathing, right? So before I'm eating food throughout the day, doing the deep belly breathing. So when you breathe in through your nose, you're literally pushing your belly out like I'm a pregnant person. Okay, I'm pushing my belly out. I'm going to hold the air in. And then when I breathe in, I'm going to suck my belly really in tight. Okay. And I'm going to do that 4, 5, 6 times. I'm going to take a deep breath in, pushing my belly out, and then I'm going to hold it there for a few seconds, and I'm going to take a deep breath into my gut. I'm going to squeeze it all in, breathing the air out, and let that flow. Okay, so air comes in, belly goes out, hold, air goes out, belly comes in. And doing that 5 or 6 times is one of my biggest keys that I have people do when they start eating. I encourage also that there becomes a certain level of, whether it's breathing in the morning or breathing at night. One of the key things I like to push here is that when stressed, we typically tell people it's okay, take a deep breath. But the research I have done actually says that when you're stressed, taking a deep breath is worse. You actually want to exhale like a lion or like a roar, like, ah, right? So it's like, you literally, that's why we want to yell. It is us getting rid of the energy. So if you're somebody that's like, I don't want to yell, I have kids, I'm trying not to, I'm trying to be better in this way. The most important thing for you to do is to exhale with a noise. It's like somebody in the gym grunting. Like we have lots of gyms that are like, we don't grunt here. And it's like, but that's actually something that's normal for them to grunt. It's them saying like, I'm doing this, I'm stressing my body and I'm releasing stress. It's actually nothing uncommon. They're not, well, we think it's dude and bro-ish. That's not a thing. And the same for you. And a lot of times women don't want to do that. Like we're not supposed to get angry. We're not supposed to expose that. But my encouragement is for you when you become in those stressful situations to give the lion's roar. Okay. My kids do it with me too. So when we get that way, they will, the first noise 90% of the time they do is go, ah, right? Like, and they just let out. I'm like, okay, great. Just let it all out. I don't care. Get it all out of your body. Then sometimes they run away screaming, which is fine. Doesn't bother me. But that's another really big piece. Okay. So using those tools. And then I would tell you my third piece that I'd really go to for helping with the food, and if this is really causing me belly fat issues, is what's my connection? Was I told that the more stress I have, the more age I have, the more I have hormonal issues, the worse my belly fat gets? Was I told that? Do I believe that? If I believe that, I'm going to keep getting that. So I would work on shifting that belief. And the best way I have for people to shift that now is to start with, okay, let's say it's a weight loss and I use 140 pounds. It's always the number I use. So let's say I already am 140 pounds. I just have 15 pounds to lose. Or I already am 140 pounds, tight, tone, long, lean, and my gut is regulated. Or my gut is regulated. I am having a healthy gut today. I am having a flat belly today. I am having great intestinal flow. Okay. Whatever sounds good to you to feel good. Like, okay, I can get behind that. I can get behind, I'm 140 pounds. I just have 15 pounds to release because I know that 140 plus 15 is 155, right? And that's what I am, or whatever. Okay. I can get behind, I have a healthy gut because I know I go to the bathroom. It's just irregular. I am bloated and I'm noticing more belly fat. But I can get behind, I have a regular healthy gut because I know I do. I'm not going to surgeries. I'm not having all these issues, right? So if you can get behind just a little part of that and start believing in those to transition that perception again to, okay, I have a healthy gut. My body releases what it needs to. I am losing readily. I am here. You will be able to change what you're viewing. So even the stress level drops. Well, that's not true anymore. Okay, Samantha, you want me to feel bad about my gut when I look at your little ad here on Facebook, but I'm choosing not to. While you could get me before, now I know that I get to be in control and I change my perception. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Questions?
No, that makes a lot of sense. It's definitely, there's a lot in my history, my family history, about size and shape and what that says about you, that needs to be overcome and dealt with.
Yeah. And I know we talk about that digestion codes
Mhm.
and quality shift. Yeah.
Yeah. So little bits at a time for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions with that?
No, thank you.
Okay, cool. If you watch through the entire thing, please comment below if you have questions or concerns based on your own gut. If you're looking to uncover more about your personal digestion code, I have a live masterclass coming. The link is right below on August 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please feel free to click the link and register. If you are not live, you will get the replay. So please come, enjoy, and learn more about your personal digestion code. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.